Hello and welcome to Geography Gen. Today I'm going to be talking about the greenhouse effect. I've got the perfect prop for it. Just behind me I've got a greenhouse. Now the way a greenhouse works is the sun's rays, the radiation from the sun, it passes through the glass on the greenhouse and it becomes trapped inside the greenhouse. When it's trapped it keeps it a little bit warmer inside the greenhouse, which means that gardeners can use it to grow plants. So if you come and have a little look in the greenhouse and we can see what's growing in there. Right, so you can see here we've actually got some chilli plants growing in the greenhouse, and they're able to grow in here because it's warmer than it is outside because of those trapped rays. So let's have a look and see how the greenhouse effect works in terms of the planet. So this is our planet, the Earth. About 4.5 billion years ago is when our planet was formed, and it's basically just a rock that's flying through space. So over time it's naturally beginning to cool down. However, if we go back to sort of 3.5 billion years ago, our planet had lots more active volcanoes on it because it was much hotter, and therefore you would have loads and loads and loads of gases being emitted from those volcanoes into the atmosphere. The main gases emitted were CO2 and water vapour. So our early atmosphere would be mainly CO2 and water vapour, and it would have been really thick and formed a big blanket around the planet. Now over time the atmosphere changed, the oceans have absorbed lots of the CO2, and in addition to that you've also got plants. You had these little organisms like bacteria organisms, they're called stromatolites. And these stromatolites, they formed about 3.5 billion years ago, and what they did is they started taking in the CO2 and giving out oxygen. And because of them and because of other plants that then started growing on our planet, our atmosphere changed. So plants photosynthesize, they take in CO2 and they give out oxygen. And that's led to our atmosphere changing, and our atmosphere is now mainly made up of nitrogen and oxygen. There are some greenhouse gases, that's what we call gases in the atmosphere that trap heat. They mainly consist of ozone, there's some carbon dioxide, some methane, nitrous oxide, and you've got some of those around the planet in the atmosphere too. And now what these gases do is they do something quite amazing and something which is really good for our planet. They create a blanket around our planet, a little bit like this. So if you imagine this is our atmosphere creating a blanket. What happens now is the sun's rays, the radiation from the sun, it passes through the atmosphere and some of it gets trapped. When it gets trapped, it begins to warm our planet up and keep it nice and cosy. So if we didn't have an atmosphere, if the greenhouse effect wasn't happening, our planet would be approximately 30 degrees cooler than it is now. Life on Earth would not exist as we know it. So in summary, the greenhouse effect is a natural process. The greenhouse effect is necessary for life on Earth, and without it our planet would be covered in ice.